Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. Tasmania's construction and tourism heavyweights have joined forces to ramp up lobbying for a stadium project at Macquarie Point. They believe apprentice numbers could double following the development, pushing for the investment to keep locals on the tools.
Embracing the chance to work on a grand scale, tradie Hallie Whitehead is up for the task.
It's not every day you get a different stadium, like a huge one in the state to do, so it'd be pretty exciting to do that.
She's just one young apprentice Master Builders believe would benefit from the Mac Point Stadium development and its flow-on construction opportunities.
To promote a project that will, provide opportunities, in the future for thousands of construction workers and hundreds of additional apprentices.
While it's the cornerstone of Tasmania's bid to be granted an AFL team, tourism leaders insist urban renewal in the area would keep industries buzzing all year long.
It's not just about an AFL team, it's not just about something for this site, but it's ultimately about bulletproofing out the future of our industries, largely the tourism, hospitality, building and construction industry.
Vocational education research data shows there are over 12,000 apprentices and trainees in the state, but there's confidence that figure could jump.
What we don't want to see is going back to the days of the 90s and early 2000s where, we trained a lot of people in this state and we trained them to go and work on major projects in Melbourne and Sydney.
State Labor's opposition to the idea remains firm. Shadow Construction Minister Jen Butler saying we would like to see apprentices employed to build the thousands of homes that Tasmanians desperately need. Treasurer Jim Chalmers is due to hand down the federal budget next month, but a decision could come sooner than that on whether crucial money will be allocated to fund the proposed stadium.
What a stadium is proven to do is turn attention and create opportunity, and you don't have to look any further than what's occurring in Adelaide this weekend to see what that does to a city.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
After an unsuccessful election campaign last year, Susie Bauer will throw her hat in the political ring once again. The Tasmanian has been announced as the Liberal candidate for Lions to stand in the next federal election. It comes after she secured a more than 13% swing in the most recent contest. 2 northern Tasmanian drivers have been disqualified following separate incidents overnight. A 49-year-old Riverside woman is facing DUI charges after returning a reading of .193. Police were alerted to the incident after she allegedly ran over several temporary bollards at a roadwork site on the West Tamar Highway. Just an hour later, a 38-year-old Invermay woman returned a reading of .154 during a road safety operation in the Invermay area. The prospect of a new youth justice centre on their doorstep is causing angst for residents of a southern Tasmanian community. Dozens of Risdon and Otago residents turned out to a public meeting at the town's hall to express their dismay. It's one of the government's nominated sites to replace Ashley Youth Detention Centre.
We don't want this project unless there's a form of benefit to our community, and so far we're only seeing downsides.
They raised concerns the community has been left out of the conversation.
There is great opposition to planting a secure detention facility complete with fences and wire in the middle of a suburban area.
Children and Youth Minister Roger Yench says this is one part of a comprehensive reform of the entire youth justice system, and extensive public consultation on the 2 preferred sites has been underway since March 23. A legend who drove a Tasmanian football club to its golden era 7 decades ago has been immortalised forever. The Northern Midlands Council today unveiling the Fred Davies Memorial at Longford, surrounded by dozens of his family members.
More than 60 years ago, Fred Davies' football ability united the small town of Longford.
Fred Davies is the greatest legend that ever lived on Longford.
Today, he did it again, but this time it was in his honour.
He's a legend in our town, been a premiership captain coach back in the 50s. He got this town together and he made it his own town, basically. They won 4 premierships in 3 years.
Bob Peart and 7 other members of the team today live to tell his story.
So I played in the 1957 state final side, which we won. I played 6 seasons under him.
More than 30 of his family members from across the country converged on the town, officially opening the Fred Davies Memorial Football Ground at Longford.
I think our parents would be just delighted.
What this mural does is connect Longford now to its glorious past, to a time when Longford had the best team in Tasmania and was a fantastic atmosphere and a great leader of a man. And this mural is a constant reminder of greatness.
His family have visited the town before and left blown away at his legend status.
My brother came over for his honeymoon and they called into the hotel and they wanted to sign my brother up there and then to play football. And another cousin from the West was saying when they were here till midnight at the footy club and got driven home by the president.
This grandstand was the first way the club honoured the legend. A few years ago, it even withstood demolition calls after the town rallied to save an important piece of history.
It was named in his honour, Fred Davies stand. Obviously, it was built a long time ago and it's still got the plaque out the front of it.
A name unlikely to be forgotten anytime soon. Talia Jordan, 7 Tasmania News.
One of the oldest fire brigades in the state has celebrated its 70th birthday. The Beaconsfield Volunteers threw the doors open today and marked the occasion with locals. Todd Russell's grandfather Jack founded the station in 1953.
In any community, it's great to have an organisation where we volunteer. You know, unfortunately, we can't have brigade careers everywhere, so they rely on us volunteers to turn out to emergencies.
They really are the backbone of these towns. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're there serving their community.
The brigade is always looking for more volunteers. Anyone interested in joining is urged to contact their closest station. Starting in the TSL, Lauderdale were too strong for a gallant and defiant Glenorchy, defeating the Pies by 70 points. While in other matches, the Tigers thumped the Northern Bombers, while 6 goals from Jake Hines helped Launceston overcome North Hobart.
Glenorchy were the talk of the summer, and after a first-round bye, it was time to get their season underway today. The first term a low-scoring affair, both teams recording just 1 goal each. The second term more open. The Pies were putting up a fight and getting reward for effort. Lauderdale, though, would still take an 11-point lead into the main break.
Kick off the ground, rolling ball, it's through.
But the Southern Bombers flexed their muscle with a 7-goal-2 third-quarter blitz. That continued into the final quarter as the margin went past 10 goals. Lauderdale too strong in the end for the gallant Pies. At Kingborough, the Tigers wasted early chances, but still had a healthy 4-goal lead at quarter time. The Northern Bombers taking until the second quarter to get on the board. It was their only one for the half, though. The Tigers up by 30 points at half-time. A 6-goal-2 third quarter from Kingborough grew their lead to 50 points by the final change. The home side dominating around the clearances all day. North Launceston returning up the Midland Highway with a heavy loss and a day to forget. And at Windsor Park, Launceston kicked the first 3 goals.
And it is a goal to Launceston.
But a Demons fight back had them within 7 points at quarter time. The Blues put their foot on the gas in the second and were up by 27 points at the half. But North Hobart refused to give in. The Demons found some grit and some goals after half time, narrowing the margin to 15 points with a quarter to play. The reigning premiers, however, recovered, their class shining through to secure a win against the determined Demons. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
It was a mixed day for the Tasmania Devils at their Utah Stadium doubleheader against Eastern Rangers. The away team were too good for our Talent League girls, defeating them 13-17-95 to 3-2-20. While it was a much closer affair in the boys' match later in the afternoon, the Devils claiming victory 11-15-81 to 9-8-62. To the NPL, and Clarence have secured their first win of the season, thumping Launceston United 6-1 this afternoon. The Zebras opened the scoring in the 12 minutes from the penalty spot, United were able to level the scores 10 minutes later before Clarence restored their lead just before half-time. 4 second-half goals sealing the result for Clarence. Last night, a second-half goal helped Glenorchy defeat South Hobart 1-0.
Cutting inside again, gets a bit of space, pulls the trigger, Rowan Pitt, he fights the back of the net with a great goal for Glenorchy.
It's the Knights' third win in 4 matches this season. Tasmania has had a positive day at the National Netball Championships in Darwin, with both sides recording a win against the ACT. The under-17s got off to a strong start in the first half and lead by 6 goals at the main break. Tassie were able to break the game open in the third quarter with an 11-goal-to-5 quarter, winning 34 goals to 20. In the under-19s, the ACT jumped out the blocks quickly and led at quarter time. Tasmania fighting back in the second quarter before a 9-goal-to-7 third term put them in prime position to win 36-27.
Good evening. 19 in Hobart today. Launceston, Devonport and Burnie all reaching 18. 21 was the state's top in Flinders Island, Lowhead 17 and 19 in Strawn. On the close-up, a thick cloud band is seen over Tasmania. Further out, thunderstorms are developing over the top end with low-level cloud pushing onto southern areas. Rain is clearing to the east of Tasmania tomorrow morning with possible afternoon thunderstorms in the far northeast. Southwesterly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots, swells up to 2 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for the west coast, Flinders Island and the east coast. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart, rain easing, 16 in Richmond, rain in Ooze. In the north, Launceston, rain easing, 19 in Devonport, Deloraine, 17 and rain. Burnie tomorrow, showers easing, 15 in Strawn, windy with showers easing in Curry. Rain and 17 across St Helens and Whitemark, and Swansea 16. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now: Monday, showers about the west, clearing in the evening. Tuesday, showers about the north and west, mostly fine elsewhere. And Wednesday, showers contracting to the west and far south during the afternoon. Capital cities 23 and showers in Perth tomorrow. Adelaide 18 and partly cloudy in Sydney. And currently Hobart 16 and cloudy, Launceston 16 and Devonport 15 with rain. And that's Saturday night's weather. Lou.
It's looking freezing out there. Thank you for that, Jackie. And that's all your news for now as well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely and safe evening. Good night.